Hello and good evening to you all. Welcome to another episode of Reminisce and React. I'm your host, Magic Lab. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Magic and Dairy. And you can also follow me on my Instagram, which is at Fame Film Agency and Fame's Comedy Spot BH. Now, it's the 80s theme, season 2 80s theme. I think I'm in the 4th or 5th episode. I've lost count already. I've got to figure it out later on. Anyway, let's see what we got on the menu for tonight's list. Let's look up the random file and see what we got going on. Eurythmics. Oh, that's a good one. Doesn't that just scream 80s, huh? The Eurythmics, man, they were so cool. And the track is Here Comes the Rain. Here Comes the Rain again. All right, well, we're in for a treat. I love this song. My God, when did that song come out? Oh, well, I think 82 or 83? If I remember correctly, if by doing my history, I think it was written in 82, but then it wasn't released until 83. 83 was the fantastic year for 80s music. It really was. And let's look it up. Hang on. I got to look it up because 80. I know that Michael Jackson did the moonwalk in 83 at Motown 25. That I know for a certain because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. All right, so I know everything about this dude. But what else came up in 83? We had What a Feeling by Irina Cara for the movie Flashdance. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Overkill. My God, Overkill by Men at Work. Maniac, she's a maniac. Oh my God, what else came out? Every Breath You Take by Every Breath You Take by Sting and by the Police. By the Police. I remember people saying that when that song first came out, it was number one for the majority of the year. Like that, not the majority of the year. It was the longest number one hit in 1983. It was number one longer than any other track in 1983, which says a lot because in 83, Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller came out. And Every Breath You Take was number one longer than those three tracks. That is amazing. All right. Oh, I wonder what it was like living in that time. I mean, I was 4 years old in 1983. But let's see. The movies that came out, 83. Trading Places, Cujo, Risky Business, Superman 3. Oh, and Scarface that also came out in 83. You see, I have this, and you know what? Let's view. All right? Let's have a look at the video and we can talk about it later because Eurythmics, Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart, legends, man. They are absolute legends. All right, let's have a watch and a listen. Let's reminisce and react together. Oh, don't you just love that guitar at the beginning? And the synths were very popular in the 80s. I just remember that string. Oh, that's freaking epic, isn't it? Woo. It's not even doing much, it just comes in natural. Out of nowhere. And it does so much. Damn.
Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like a new emotion.
What a voice, honestly.
I want to walk in the open wind, I want to talk like lovers do, want to dive into your ocean. Is it raining with you? So baby, talk to me like lovers do. Walk with me like lovers do.
Passion.
So baby, talk to me like lovers do.
Barely hear the background. There it is again. Those strings, man. It's just like, it's just one time every now and then, but it makes a huge contribution to the song.
Here it comes again.
A little bit of a climactic moment here.
Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like a new emotion. Here it goes again, here it goes again. I want to
What a
walk
voice.
in the open wind. I want to talk like lovers do. Want to dive into your ocean. Is it raining with you? Here it comes again. Here comes the rain again. I said, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like a new emotion. Yeah. I want to walk in
I love the background noises, the background voices. The vocals in the background are always amazing.
Want to dive into your ocean. Is it raining with you? Here comes the rain again.
Aren't you just in awe? Seriously, when you hear a song like that, you lose yourself completely into that melody. I mean, that song was pure 80s magic. You know what I mean? I mean, the 80s was more than just a decade. People keep thinking, oh, the 80s is a decade. No, 80s is a decade filled with just a lot of magical moments, a lot of magic time. You know, it is a realm that if I was forever lost in, I'll never get tired. I'll be in complete content. You know what I mean? Alright, I mean, Annie, the good old Annie Lennox, I don't think she gets as much credit as a vocalist as one should. I mean, what a voice. It's unique, you know? It's like, when you hear her, you know it's her. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by iconic. You know, she's, and I'm really surprised that she and good old Dave, they couldn't make it work. You know, they look like the kind of couple that would stay together forever. You know what I mean? I mean, I know they're still friends, they're still very close, but it's just a shame because they brought so much magic. They had amazing chemistry on screen together. They were just really, really great. You know, what I wanted to say earlier before is like, I think it's very important. I have this philosophy. I have this, not philosophy. I have, I don't know what to call it. I have this thing about me that, which I think every person in the world should do. Whatever year you were born in, all right, you should take it upon yourself to know a minimum of 30 years prior to your birth, 30 years worth of history prior to your birth. Not just to know how your parents lived and stuff like that. I just think it's very important because it explains a lot of what's happening today. Now, I was born in 79, so I wanted to know a lot about everything. I'm not just talking about music history and movies, just regular history as well. You know, what was going on in the world 30 years prior to my birth. But the first thing I did was, you know, I wanted to know what kind of music there was, what kind of movies they were. So I went back to 1950, 1 year after 49, you know, and in the 50s, by the time I was 10 years old, that's when I wanted to learn 30 years prior to my birth. And I learned about James Dean. I found out about good old James Dean. And James Dean led me to Marilyn Monroe. And I started watching Marilyn Monroe films. I mean, I watched Rebel Without a Cause when I was 10 or 11. And I wanted to watch more of James Dean. I watched East of Eden and The Giant. And I watched a bunch of, not a bunch, only a few Marilyn Monroe films there were. And then it led me to more, and then it led me to, now I know why Greece is so important. Why Greece was so big. I understand the history of Greece. When I first watched it, I had no idea what was going on. I was just enjoying the songs. But when you know the history, you understand Greece. And what I mean is, like, why I think it's very important is all these artists, even Annie Lennox, they all have somebody that inspired them to do what they do. It doesn't come out of thin air. It doesn't come out of nowhere. All right. The very, very, very first musician, it must have come out of nowhere, and we can't date that far back, all right? Because everybody has somebody that inspired them to do what they do. I mean, Michael Jackson always said that the two people that inspired him most was James Brown and Jackie Wilson. And because he said that, I started to listen to James Brown and Jackie Wilson. And I kept on going back and back. I went back as far as Ella Fitzgerald in music. I went far back as Humphrey Bogart in movies, all the way back to classic Chaplin. And it nurtures your life. You feel like not only do you know more, but you feel you have this understanding, this awareness of what's going on, right? And it makes you very intuitive as well, because and you can see inspirations happening with current artists. You can see who they were mimicking. Like Bruno Mars, he's obviously mimicking Prince and Michael. But if nobody knew about Prince and Michael, right? And they'll think, oh, Bruno did all this on his own. They'll be blown away. But once these kids grow up and realize about Prince and Michael, they'll be like, oh, to hell with Bruno. Now we know where he got that from. And hopefully they will go back. So anyway, that's my method in life. You should always know at least 30 years prior to your birth. So any of you who have kids, let them know 30 years history before their birth. It'll help them, trust me, and it builds character. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling too much. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Reminisce and React. And please join me next time, hopefully for another 80s classic.